So, it's Christmas, and per usual, I am feeling crappy. It's not just the whole family thing and all that stuff, and it's not just Mom at the nursing home today. Things happened that just weren't the most conducive to happy Christmas time. Plus, once again, I've run out of pain medication, so I'm in a lot of pain again. And the problem is with when the weather changes, it's really hard on my body, like my joints and stuff. And we had cold weather, then it got warm, and then it got cold again. And you might as well have just been beating me with a baseball bat. So essentially what happened is I had about a week and a half where I had to double up on my medication to function, and I was hoping that the pain would disperse some before I ran out, and it didn't. So once again, I'm in pain and depressed and feeling alone, feeling lonely. I didn't used to feel lonely. I used to feel okay being alone. And it's not been the case in the last year. I moved out of my heck hole apartment, and what happened was everything else in my life that was kind of fucked up got illuminated. So the apartment was a good distraction, but I guess I don't have a point in doing this tonight, other than to put something out there showing the face of depression and seasonal affective disorder called SAD or something. I would probably fit under that heading. I do know every year my psychiatrist asks me, for the past 6.5 years, has asked me if I get sad around the holidays, and I didn't at first, and I do now, since losing my mom to her strokes. I just really wish I wasn't alone. I just want one person in my life. And I guess it's too much to ask for. I'm just too fucked up and ugly and mental and stupid pill popper. I mean, not illicit drugs. I mean, it's all what my doctor tells me to take, but still. I've got baggage in spades, baby. And I mean, I can be fine without having a lot of friends and a lot of people in my life. It's always been that way. I was an only child, and I was the fat kid, and was highly protected, and wasn't really allowed to be like, run around like my neighborhood and stuff with the other kids. And so being alone and not having a lot of people in my life in a consistent way is par for the course. I like living alone, but there are needs in my life that aren't being met, and those needs are growing larger and larger as time passes. For a long time, I was fine with it. And that would be, having someone in my life who loved me and was affectionate, who I could give love to, and who can give affection to. And it's growing more. The more time that passes, the more painful it becomes, and the more lonely I become. And going through crap like the pain and whatever drama decides to drop into my lap this week, going through that by myself, it's hard. And like when I had my knee surgery, when I had my first one, I didn't have any complications, but with the second one I did, there was a hematoma that that is essentially bacteria food. And when you have your knee replaced, you're not supposed to go home alone. You're supposed to have someone with you for the first week or two. And they're not supposed to send you home unless you have somebody. Other that, or you go into extended care. Well, the problem is Medicaid doesn't pay for extended care, so they had to kind of do what they could do, which was to have a home health care nurse come by twice a week, and physical therapy come back twice a week. And I begged for help from the few people in my life I had, that no one would come and just help me with simple things. And I had to do it. I had to be sure that I had food prepared, and during the time that I was at home with my recuperation was inspection time and for the apartment complex, and I had to make sure that it was clean, and I couldn't get anybody to come help me. And the doctor had told me I was supposed to be at home. When he first realized that it was starting to show some problems, he told me to stay at home with my leg up and don't do anything. I mean, literally, I was supposed to go to the bathroom and that's it. And I didn't do that. I did it as much as I could, but I had things I had to do. I had no help with. And I ended up having another surgery, and it was a $10,000 surgery. And I still didn't have any help when I came home. After that, I was supposed to stay up off everything too. I have my aunt in a lot of ways, but she doesn't understand the fact that I'm not going to get better, and she doesn't understand that there's always going to be a problem with me physically and in my limitations. And she's getting up there in age and can't do a lot. It's not her responsibility. I pray every night. I just want one person in my life. I just want someone who loves me for who I am and all my quirks and weirdness, and not just a side of them, not just despite them. And you can deal with a body who looks a little bit like Clem from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I really put my body through hell with the obesity and the weight loss, and surgery could fix it like it fixed my stomach, but it fucked everything else up. Messed some other parts of me up that completely just sucked all my self-esteem out of me and all my hope for a future relationship-wise. Because, there's that moment, whether it's, you get married or it's just you decide as a couple that you're ready to be naked together. And there's that moment that I'm afraid of, because with the loose skin and with the results of the surgery from having my tummy done, I don't want to see the reaction of someone who I love and I'm being that vulnerable with. I don't want to see what that reaction would be if it was a negative one. And the problem is even if they tried to hide it, I'm very, very intuitive, very discerning, and I would know. So even if they were trying to hide it out of kindness and love, I would know. What it would be like to be naive and stupid about everything that goes on around me. That would be just blissful. Ignorance is bliss, and I agree. Knowing when people are pissed off at you or upset with you or don't accept you regardless of what they're showing you really sucks. So, not having a Black Christmas I'm calling it charcoal gray. Charcoal gray life, actually. That's another problem, is there's a wee bit of darkness in me, and I don't mean like evil. I mean like pain, and my depression and all that crap. Depression, anxiety crap that's been with me all my life. Makes me emotional and just it makes me suck, basically. It makes people run the other direction, especially male people. That's been the story of my life. Anybody I've ever been attracted to is just could not get out the door fast enough. I quit telling them, but they would figure it out anyway. Or I'd have a tell. Or sometimes I just would flat out tell them, but none of those worked in a positive way for me. Sometimes it sucks to be me, and I know it sounds like I'm being filled with self-pity, and it's not pity that I feel for myself, it's just pain I feel. It's just pain. It's just this sucking chest wound kind of thing going on. And I'm sharing it with the world, because once it goes on the internet, it's there forever.